Book nerds, Nerdstacular here, and welcome to my first ever maybe reading wrap-up. It's more of a what I did read, what I'm currently reading, and what I might read. I don't really like the TBR idea, personally, because I don't like having a set stack of, this is what I'm going to read. Every book in my house I am planning on reading, but I'm not going to choose what I'm going to read before I sit down to read it. I have to decide at the moment what I feel like reading. I don't like having, you know, a stack and saying, this is what I'm going to read next month. I just kind of go on a whim and read what I feel like reading. So let's start with what I read over the past couple months. I kept meaning to do like a reading wrap-up kind of thing, and I just never got around to it. So we'll just sort of sum up what I've been reading. So a few months ago at the library book sale, I picked up 2 Jen Lancaster books, Such a Pretty Fat and Bright Lights Big Ass. And they were, honestly, the covers are what drew me to them. And I kept putting them down and going back to them, putting them down and going back to them. And then I finally just said, you know what, just get those damn books. So I got those damn books. They didn't have Bitter is the New Black at the library book sale. I do think I'm going to see if the library actually carries it, because holy crap, these were fun. So much fun. Jen Lancaster is such a sassy, snarky, wonderful person. Oh my goodness, I love her. And she's got a pit bull named Maisie and a German shepherd whose name at the moment escapes me. Her husband's name is Fletch, and they go and have these crazy, weird, accidental adventures. And these are memoirs. By the way, these are memoirs. And they are so much fun. I think I read this one first, Such a Pretty Fat. And so far, this one's my favorite. I read Bright Lights Big Ass second, which actually comes before this one. And I still just liked this one. It was her quest to just like get fit and lose weight and try to be a healthier person overall, I do believe, is what this one was. I marathoned them, so I don't remember exactly which happens in which book, but it was just so much fun. And the realizations she comes to are just amazing. And I'd love to meet her in person. So I read those, and then on a book outlet sale, I found the Tao of Martha, My Year of Living, or Why I'm Never Getting All That Glitter Off of the Dog, for 99 cents. And I was like, yes please, because I had so much fun reading the other two. This one did make me cry. Maybe a spoiler warning. Her pitbull Maisie dies in this one. Not unexpectedly, not from an accident or anything like that. She was very, very sick. And, you know, Maisie did let Jen and Fletch know that it was okay to say goodbye, which, I'm starting to tear up just thinking about it. My oldest dog is getting up there in years, and he's starting to have some health issues, so it hit very close to home for me. But, so in this one, she decides to live a year, sort of like following the Tao of Martha Stewart, and the Martha Stewart's Living magazine thing, and the conundrums she finds herself in are just awesome and hilarious. And, like, okay, so she hosts an Easter party for her friends and their children, and she gets a whole bunch of plastic eggs and stuffs them with candy and stuff. And I think she said she bought like 16 pounds of candy, thinking that would be just barely enough for like 8 or 9 kids or something. And then she thought the kids would like just very nicely and calmly go hunt the Easter eggs in the yard. And it ended up being like a brawl, and like kids got hurt and pushed down, and they were, I think, fists were thrown. It was awesome. It was hilarious. It's what Easter should be. But yeah, and then her 4th of July party ended up being, I think she worded it kind of more trashy than elegant, but then she did get shit turned around and had a very elegant Christmas. And the Halloween stuff was awesome because she got drunk and waiting for kids to work, because she's always hated Halloween, but this year she decided to do it, and she got candy and decorated the house and the front lawn and glittered the shit out of pumpkins, which now I'm gonna do because I hate doing pumpkins. I like carving them, but then I pretend like I'm not home at Halloween because I don't like people knocking on my door. So I tend to just put a bowl of candy out and then, you know, put the TV on upstairs and pretend like I'm not home. So I feel Jen Lancaster not liking Halloween in that regard. So anyway, so she instead of carving pumpkins, she glitters them, according to Martha Stewart's how-to. And she has some pictures in here, and I was like, what? I'm gonna glitter pumpkins next year. Probably fake craft pumpkins, so I can reuse them. But, oh man. So anyway, so she has her house decorated, and it's all welcoming, and she has all this candy, and no kids show up, and she just gets progressively drunker as the night goes on, and she, like, yells at the pizza delivery guy and the mailman, and, it's just awesome. I highly recommend Jen Lancaster's books. So I only have 3. I'm going to be hitting up the library to see if they have any of the others, because, oh my goodness, these are fun. And apparently, she has also done some fiction books, so I'm gonna give those a try, because her writing style, oh my goodness, it's awesome. In one of these, I think she has a hard time sleeping, so she starts taking some kind of a sleep aid, and she discovers that if she doesn't go to bed as soon as she feels it hitting, like she needs to take it and go to bed, she does weird, like, Amazon shopping. Like, she bought $45 worth of Barbie dolls or something and didn't remember it till they showed up, and who hasn't done weird stuff? Okay, so I also read Magnus Chase and the Sword of Summer by Rioridan, and I'm going to put it out there. I liked it so much better than the Percy Jackson books. And I know that's like, whoa, but because my husband loves those. He loves the Percy Jackson books, and they're good. And I do enjoy Greek and Roman mythology, and I'm really glad that in the Heroes of Olympus, they did start exploring the Roman side of things, but Norse mythology is always where it's been at for me, so I had so much more fun reading Magnus Chase than I did with Percy Jackson. I am still currently reading Blood of Olympus. I just started it. I just needed a break from those teenagers. Oh my gosh. So anyway, this one follows Magnus Chase, who is Annabeth Chase's cousin from the Percy Jackson side of things. Whoa. It was just almost nonstop action. It didn't drag at all, and I'll be honest, I did feel like some of the Percy Jackson books had a little bit of lull points. Not in a bad way, just, but this just, oh my goodness. So my favorite character, besides the main kid, Magnus, would probably have to be Hearthstone, the elf. And then I kind of got the feeling that either Hearth and Blitz it's either just an extreme bromance or maybe some more like stronger underlying feelings, which is totally fine. I kind of do hope that's what's going on, because oh my gosh, you have this big, pale, like tall, skinny, almost translucent skinned elf, and this like short, burly dwarf who's like, he just wants to do fashion, and he wants to open up his own fashion shop, and it was just such a fun read. I don't know what to say that's not going to ruin it. Just read it. I think that's the reason I don't do wrap-up videos, is I don't know what to say that's not going to ruin shit. Alright, the other book that I just finished the other day was Kathy Reichs' Grave Secrets. And this is book 5 in the Temperance Brennan books. So, Kathy Reichs is herself a forensic anthropologist. So she writes the Temperance Brennan novels, wherein Temperance Brennan is a forensic anthropologist. So these are the books that TV show Bones is based off of, but if you've never read these, but you've watched Bones, go into this with just an open mind, because really nothing at all is the same except the name of the character and the fact that she's a forensic anthropologist. That's about it. So in this one, she's in, I want to say Guatemala, and she's helping excavate, I guess is the term, a mass grave. And so while she's there doing that, a body is found in a septic tank. So she's then called to go to Guatemala City to help identify, because there's no flesh left on it, so this is her area of expertise, trying to define ethnicity, gender, approximate age, approximate cause of death, that kind of stuff, just because all they have left is bones, and I think just a little bit of flesh. But it's not like a full body where you're like, oh yeah, that's so-and-so. So then, like all Temperance Brennan books, stuff starts to go downhill from there, because people don't want anybody to know what's going on. So as usual, I basically couldn't put it down. It's only 262 pages, so these are incredibly quick reads. Every one I've read has gone incredibly quick. So I will be reading the next one. I don't know what it is because I need to pull it up. So what I'm currently reading now is Blood of Olympus. It's the last in the Heroes of Olympus books by Rioridan. I'm currently on page 59. I'm enjoying it so far. I really do like the character of Nico D'Angelo, and I do believe that he's gay, and I really like that because you just don't see that a whole lot, at least just not in the books that I read. And he's very, like, got some angst and stuff going on. I very much enjoy Nico D'Angelo's character. He's such a very well written character. Most of the characters are very well written. I did finish House of Hades a few months ago, and I finished Mark of Athena months before that, but I think I finished Mark of Athena in May. And the way that one ended, I just needed a break from goddamn teenagers. Just quick spoiler, so mute it if you haven't read Mark of Athena. Are you muted? Alright. In Mark of Athena, the end of it, Annabeth gets Arachne, like, they get her pushed over the edge into the hole that's basically going to lead to Tartarus, and there's still all these fucking spider webs attached all over Annabeth, and then Percy comes to help save her, and they're just, like, hugging, and oh, and I'm just like, fucking, those were attached to a damn spider, who is now plummeting down to Tartarus, and you're just like, oh yeah, they're attached to something plummeting down a hole, and they're all, oh, I've missed you. Cut the damn spider webs. Did they? No. So what happened? Woo! Down into Tartarus. And I was just like, fucking teenagers, I can't. And like, they weren't the only two there. I think Pyper was also present. I don't know if Frank and Jason and Hazel were there, and Leo, but point is, there was a bunch of teenagers present right there, and they were all just like, oh, Annabeth, we've missed you. We know we've missed you, Annabeth. Let's maybe cut these damn spider webs so that you don't get pulled into the giant hole that leads to Tartarus. And they didn't. So I just needed a break from fucking teenagers. Anyway, okay, so moving on. I'm also currently reading The Demonologist by Andrew Pyper. And I got this also from that library book sale. I was kind of skeptical on it, I'll be honest. It looked really cool. I liked the cover with the red. And I read the jacket, and it seemed interesting, but I wasn't sure I was going to be like 100% sold on it, and I'm so glad I started reading it because it's actually been very surprisingly good. I'm very much enjoying this, to the point where, depending on how the rest of the book goes, I might try this Lost Girls, also by Andrew Pyper, because I've just really been enjoying this. So, oh, Gillian Flynn said smart, thrilling, and utterly unnerving. And Gillian is the person who wrote Gone Girl, which, such a good book. Haven't gone to the movie yet, because I just really liked the book, and Percy Jackson hurt bad, being like, oh, I love this book, let's watch the movie. Oh! So, when I tend to love a book, I sometimes stay away from seeing the movie for, as long as I can, because sometimes it just really leaves a sour taste in your mouth. Okay, so that's it. That's what I'm currently reading and what I have been reading. Other quick little notes. Earlier in the year, I read Queen of the Tearling, and I hated it. Hated it. To the point where I have no interest in reading the other ones. I might look up people's synopsis or like their thoughts on it just to kind of see, but even then, I don't care at all what happens to Kelsey. And I think what really did it for me about that book was, so she's on her way to the castle in New London to take her rightful place as the queen or whatever, right? And some dude named the Fetch and his boys kidnap her, and the whole reason they kidnapped her is because he wanted to see what kind of person she is and to sort of let her know that he's going to keep an eye on how she does things and take her out if necessary if she doesn't do the kind of stuff he thinks she should do, and whatever. Okay, that's fine. But what upset me, so he kidnaps her and she gets knocked unconscious, and then when she wakes up in his tent, she's in different clothes, and she's like, And he says, oh, don't worry about that. You're far too plain for my tastes. And I'm like, thanks, Fetch, for not raping an unconscious girl. It just upset me. Like, gross. And then the fact that every time I felt like I was getting drawn back into it, it was just thrown back in her face that she's not super skinny and just, homely looking. There's absolutely nothing wrong with not being super skinny and also being homely looking. But every time they brought it up, I'm like, move the fuck on. So, no desire to read any more of that. I'm really sorry, Erica Johansson. I just didn't like the book. I read Day Shift by Charlaine Harris, and that was... So it's the second book in the Midnight Crossroads series, or Midnight Crossed? Midnight Crossroads. In the Midnight Crossroads books. Apparently there's only going to be one more, so I'm like, I don't want to... It isn't even out yet, but I'm not sure if I want to read it, because I don't want to let go, because it's such an amazing book, and it takes place in the same world as the Sookie Stackhouse books, and there's a teeny bit of overlap. Quinn the Were-Tiger makes an appearance in Midnight Texas. Midnight Texas, that's the name. It's the Midnight Texas books. No, is it Midnight Crossroads? Shoot, I don't know. Look it up, Google it, you'll figure it out. That was amazing, as always, but it's Charlaine Harris, and I love everything I've ever read of hers. And we're talking all the Sookie Stackhouse books, all the Aurora Teagarden books, and now the two Midnight Texas books. So, yep. Alright, we're now at like 16 minutes. This video went on a hell of a lot longer than I wanted it to. And, like and subscribe for more if you liked what you saw. Why don't you leave a comment down below? Let me know what you're reading and what you thought about what you're reading. And if you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts. That's it. Read on, guys.